the guy who they picked on, it was the right guy because I already was educated to deal with the politics of the land because just like my uncle, being an entrepreneur, eventually it was gonna come bother with me because I'm a black man. I own my own record company.
That's right.
I ain't affiliated with no record company. Ain't no white guy getting no money out of this deal right here. I'm gonna be an easy target.
Yeah.
Like my uncle was. So then I became the target. Fucking bus with
Ice-T.
With all these dudes.
They all tell the story.
Kumo D and everybody, and we sitting there, we on the bus, niggas is walking around and say, what label you on? What label you on? What label you on? Hey Luke, what label you on? I'm on Luke Records, motherfuckers. Start laughing and shit. You ain't on Sony, none of this shit. I'm like, okay, laugh down. And before you know it, the mother, what? How the fuck you doing this shit? I'm like, nigga, y'all making a fraction of the amount of money. This is how much the fuck I'm making. And so motherfuckers started comparing notes, and that's why after that, and then Source put me on the cover explaining some of the stories and shit. Then niggas came back, and then the needle moved because motherfuckers was like, yo, fuck that. I want to do what this nigga is doing at the major label, and the major labels had to adjust their shit because motherfuckers was trying to haul ass and start their own shit. So the major labels started getting niggas deals.
The contracts.
To put them in a situation where they'll be similar to me, but most of them dudes weren't similar to me because they weren't owning their own masters.
Right.
They just tricked at the game. They tricked the game up, make a nigga feel like he owned something. He just really owned the name of the label, but he was still going to get the artist and put them on the label, and the label still on actually own the product.
Right.
So we put pressure on the industry to change, to be better. And that, when you really look back at it, motherfuckers are like, okay, this shit funny, but then it really wasn't funny. And then dudes came back and like, look, I want to put my nigga on. I want to put my nigga on.
Right.
You feel me? And everybody want to put their guy on. They want to have their own label. 1991, 1986. How many record companies was around in 86 that was putting their own artists on? The artists putting on. We revolutionized the whole game because what happened was people didn't say, man, they saw me on the cover of the Source magazine. They looked and said, man, I want to, damn, this dude's saying something. And then when guys start opening up to us, like the Kumo D's and all them other world, and the Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince and all, man, how you doing this? And so, I was putting them up on game.
They're on the game now.
You feel me? So then guys then went back.
So what was the financial difference between you and those artists?
The financial difference, they was getting 9% of no percent.
Damn.
Right.
You feel me? So they would get they were supposed to get 9 points, which is 9% of whatever it is. Some dudes had a big deal. A big deal back then was 12%. You had to be a motherfucker that was doing platinum and all that shit like that. So, back then the label would give you a big ass advance.
Right.
Shoot your videos, promotion, and all that. And so they were really marking up and doubling down on the prices where they really never gave them dudes royalties. And so that's why when every guy came to me and did a show, when I was bringing them, they were telling me their horror stories. So I kind of peaked the game from bringing artists down and niggas telling me, man, I ain't getting paid shit. I got this hot ass record, yada, yada, yada. And man, I want a better deal, but they really couldn't get a better deal. So I kind of peaked the game from that standpoint right there. So now when you look at me, I'm getting 100%. I'm manufacturing a record for 20 cents, making a cover for 3 cents.
What's Luke Records clearing the first year?
What it was clearing? So you're really clearing the overhead on a record at that time was shit. You probably clearing $2 a record versus these guys not really getting maybe
making sense.
Right. Yeah, that's why it was so easy for the industry to go internet like it is right now. Where these motherfuckers, say, okay, you been getting a cent. You know what I'm saying? We own your master.
Oh, you mean as far as like streaming and stuff?
Yeah, streaming, like
Spotify.
You been getting a cent.
Right.
Motherfuckers like me ain't used to getting a cent.
Right.
I got a problem with that fucking shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But again, that's the way the business right now.
Right.
But that was the biggest difference. And so I kind of was like, okay, with doing it that way.
Right.
Because if I sold 200,000 records, that was equivalent to your 2 million of what you gonna get paid. Because I'm getting all the money. You feel me? And then I would then take, University of Miami, I go over there, they got film school. I go get them dudes at the film school and I shoot my videos. You know what I'm saying? So now I got video dirt cheap. I ain't paying the same amount of money. These young people, they grind and they want to be producers and directors and shit. Mm-hmm. And so we shooting the videos, shit.
So they shooting the videos for credit.
Yeah. That's all they was shooting it from.
That's crazy.
And they had the equipment, everything. So I had to do all that because, again, back then there was no such thing as a film industry in Miami. So to go find a dude to shoot a video, then once I started getting a little bigger in it, then I would use Lionel Martin to shoot Ace Town and shit like that, big, director and all that.
Right.
When I needed something glossy like that from that standpoint.
Right.
But no, we was just eating from that standpoint. Man, how you doing this? And so, I was putting them up on game.
They're on the game now.
You feel me? So then guys then went back and were like, yo, we want this same thing. And so that's when you started getting the LaFace records.
Yeah.
It became, those guys were happy by giving Atlantic, giving CBS, giving all these companies, giving Def Jam, who own by CBS and all. They were happy by being on those labels.
Yeah.
So then now you got everybody saying, hey, look, we want to start our own label, but then, even the industry, they say we got to make an adjustment because this dude, Luke, who we really trying to blackball out the game, he done messed up the game because dudes now want to be entrepreneurs. So now you got Cruz, you got the Cash Moneys and all these people of the world. You got So Def, you got LaFace Records, you got Bad Boy, you got all the Masterpiece stuff and all that. You got Suave House, you got all these. And so we're at the forefront of that. Yeah. And so when I tell people they need to understand the history, we were doing that, but then what the industry did was they did it slick. They say, man, these dudes want their own company. This would be good for us on one hand, and they could put their other guys on, but we can't let them have the same ownership of the masters like Luke. And so that's the part that them guys did not get because that's when they shut me down and they shut my voice down and they blackballed me out the entire business because I done hipped them to the game of being their own entrepreneur.